Hello, this is Kim with Crochet with Kim. We are working on the finishing of the Shamrock for the St. Patrick's Day holiday. I'm hoping that you're enjoying this so far. We are getting ready to start part 4 and let us begin. We're beginning with row 26. We're going back down the graft and we're going to start with 2 white blocks. And again, if you recall, I stated that there's 2 ways that we could do that, where we can chain 3 and then go up here to this post and do a slip stitch. I like to slip stitch up to that point for security purposes, to make sure that my work do not come apart. And then we're going to slip stitch under that post. We'll chain 1, remembering that chain 3, remembering that chain 3 counts as that first double crochet, and we add in there 3 more double crochets to complete that first post or that first block. I'm gonna get it together here. So we'll go ahead over to our second block from the previous row, that first post. We'll chain our 3. We will do our second crochet, double crochet, our third double crochet, and our 4th double crochet. And then we'll go ahead and we'll look at the graft here. We'll lay our work down and we'll see that we need 3 green blocks. So we will go forth and we will pick up our green yarn from behind, remembering that when we're working on the front of our work or the right side of our work, we put the working yarn behind the project, and then when we're working on the wrong side, we keep it on the same side as the project, on the wrong side. So we'll go ahead and do our 3 green blocks. So we'll have that 1, 2, and 3 to have 4 double crochet. That's our first block. Do our slip stitch, our chain of 3, and this will be our second block. I try to keep that where it doesn't get tangled up. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. There we go, we'll get that. Our second block, and then our third slip stitch in that third block from the previous row under that post, and we'll do 3 more double crochet to equal 4 double crochet in each block. Now after we finish that, we'll take a look at our graph. Now we have our 3 green blocks. We need 1 white block. We'll go ahead and we'll pick up our white yarn. Put that on the inside here. Our white yarn, and we will slip stitch under this post right here. We'll pull on the green to kind of have it a little snug. We'll do chain of 3, and we'll have the second double crochet, our third double crochet, and our 4th double crochet. Alright, yarn this one to come with me. And we'll go ahead and put that back there. Now, our next one, we have 1 single block of white. Now we need 2 greens. So I remember cutting off some yarn when I was working, and it was like a little further down, I'll just take that yarn and work it right here. I just go ahead and pull it through with a slip stitch, and we'll yank on that white yarn, and I'll work over the tail as I go. So placing it, the tail right next to that post, and I'll just work over it as I go. And this is my 4th double crochet. Then I'll just drop that off to the side, and we'll do our 2nd green block because we need only 2. And our 3rd double crochet, and then our 4th. And then if we notice at this, we have 3 blocks left. We only need 2 white blocks, and remember, we are decreasing at this point. So as we decrease, we will have 3 blocks, and then we'll finish off. So we'll go ahead and we will do our 2 white blocks. So 1, a slip stitch in there and chain of 3. That will make our 1st double crochet. And then we have 2, 3, and 4. And then our 2nd white block, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, chain. And then we'll have our 2nd double crochet. Or 3rd, I'm sorry, our 3rd double crochet, and then our 4th. And then we will slip stitch at the end, and then we are ready to turn our work again. So now we have completed row 26, and our work should look accordingly. As we start row 27, we will work up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white blocks. So we will go ahead and slip stitch. I will slip stitch. You can chain 3 and then go right up to the post and do a slip stitch if you feel more comfortable. And I will slip stitch my way up. I will chain 3. And this is our 1st block. And then we'll do another slip stitch, our chain of 3, this is our 2nd block. Now we are no longer going to be needing the green at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut this off, making sure I leave enough of a tail to be able to weave in so it won't get in the way, get tangled in, or what have you, like it's doing with me right now. But I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to work it through this way, pull it through, out, and there we go. We'll put that out to the side so it doesn't get tangled up any other place here. And then we'll do our 3rd block here, 2nd double crochet, 3rd double crochet, and 4th double crochet. Then we'll do our 4th block, and this is our 2nd double crochet, crochet and a fourth. 1, 2, 3, or 3 additional double crochet. So I'm going to put this yarn to the back and I'll work with this working yarn right here, which is from the skein, and add my fifth block here. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we needed 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we need 3 green blocks. Making sure we pull our yarn towards us. We're working on the wrong side of the work. All of our strings is on the wrong side. We are on the odd side because we're working our way. Well, we're actually working upward, working on the wrong side, going back up. We're doing our 3 green. So we're on the wrong side, our odd numbers. And a second double crochet, a third double crochet, and our fourth double crochet. Moving that tail out of the way there. This is our second green block. So we'll go ahead and complete our second block. And then we'll have our third green block. It's 1, 2, 3, and then our fourth double crochet. Now, noticing our count, we should have 2 white blocks left, which we do, but we need only 1 block for white left. So we'll go ahead and do that 1 white block. We'll slip stitch, chain 3, kind of tug on the green a little bit, and we'll go ahead and do our remaining double crochet for this block and slip stitch, and we have completed row 27. Row 28, we need 1 white block because the arrow is going downward, so we're going back down the graph. So we'll go ahead and do our work until we get to that post, whether you chain 3 and then just add to that post, or slip stitch on top of each of these stitches until you get to the post. And then we'll chain 3 and we'll have second double crochet, third double crochet, and the fourth double crochet. Okay, and so we needed just that 1 white block. Now we'll take a look at the work here and see what we do. 28, we need 2 green. So we'll go ahead and finish the 2 green. Let me get the yarn from the back here, pull that up. And we'll chain 3 and we'll have second double crochet, third double crochet, fourth double crochet. That's the first block, and then slip stitch into this next one, chain 3, and we will have our second double crochet, our third double crochet, and our fourth double crochet. Now the next thing we will do, we will need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white blocks. We should have 6 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is correct. So that will allow us to have that 5 white blocks. We'll go ahead and slip stitch, kind of pull on that green a little bit to make it snug. And this is our first white block. This is beginning of our second white block. And if you wanted to, you can do these with, I love double half crochet, which I explained before, and you would chain 2 for a double half crochet. If you are wanting to do, I would like to try and see what a triple crochet in these will look like, and I might do that just for fun, just to see how that work. You would chain up 4 to do triple crochet. So when you chain up, it gives you that belief, or it to be as whatever stitch you are creating. If it's a double half crochet, you would chain up 2, creating that first half double crochet. If it's a double crochet, you would chain up 3. Triple crochet, you would chain up 4. It will give you that illusion that that chain is. Now, in all cases, it all do not work. For some projects, it doesn't count as your first stitch, but in most cases, in some of the projects that I've worked with, it does count as that stitch. And in this case, a chain of 3 counts as a double crochet. So I have just completed my 5. And if you're looking at your work here, you should be really excited. If you have your Shamrock come to life for you, it's pretty awesome to see. It really is. To see this come to life as the picture shows, and it be in a pattern for you. So now it is time for row 29, and as you can see, we're finishing up with just white because we have finished the Shamrock. We just have to finish the project, so we don't have to worry about counting any more green blocks. It's just white blocks until we finish the project. So we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we will go ahead and do our 7 white blocks, and I'm going to cut this so it, because we won't have to use that. I will cut the green, but I'll cut it once I work over it. We'll go ahead, I slip stitch. You can count, chain up 3 and do the same thing. And slip stitch into this post here, chain up 3. I am hoping that you have enjoyed doing this. This is a lot of fun for me. I thought that it would be nice to have someone crochet with me this project. Hopefully I can set aside more time to do more projects that can be either a little bit more, um, I won't say challenging, but a little bit more craftiness with more colors, and then some that's just really pretty. I love butterflies, so that would be something that I would like to work on, putting together butterflies. But butterflies have a lot of colors, and you really have to have the patience to be able to work in the colors, as well as not get frustrated at the tangled yarn, because it will get tangled. Um, but this has been a joy for me. I hope this is a joy for you, and I hope it's relaxing as well. This is our fourth block. So we'll go ahead and do our fourth block. This is our fifth block. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of tie in the green yarn a little bit. Give it a little bit more security. And kind of cut down on some of the weaving. Pull that a little bit and I'll drop it. Go ahead and pull on that. That's our third double crochet, our fourth double crochet, and slip stitch in that last stitch and turn and work. And as you can see, it is filling in, so it will be equivalent to the other side. I'll pull in some of that yarn. Alright, so we've completed that, and we're going to do row 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have seven left. I'm going to go ahead and cut this green off because I will not need the green. I'll still weave in a little bit, but I want to take that out so it doesn't get any more tangled than what it could get. We'll go ahead and finish out the project here. Go ahead and work up the side. And we'll get underneath this post. And we'll do our 6 blocks. That's our third double crochet and our fourth. And go ahead, chain up your 3 and continue to follow the pattern on down. I hope that it's coming together for you. I hope you were able to follow along okay. You know, it can be pretty challenging when it's something new. Sometimes it can be intimidating, but we can do anything that we put our minds to. All we gotta do is face the challenge. There are some challenges that I found myself having a hard time doing, but I don't give up. I just kind of figure out a way that will be better for me. how can I overcome this? And sometimes I figure out a way, and sometimes it may not be exactly the way that it was intended to be, but it actually turns out okay for me. I won't say better, because the person who created the pattern, you know, they have expertise, and maybe I haven't reached that level of expertise, but it doesn't mean that I can't figure out a way that I can work it for myself. That maybe I can't work it their way, but I can figure out a way to come close to what they have achieved. And sometimes I found out that works out better for me. As long as I get the fundamentals of what I'm doing. And this is with any project. With any project that you do. So if we take a look and lay our work down, we can see that there's the shamrock in the center, and we're just finishing up the corner. So now we are getting ready to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're getting ready to do row 31. We have 6 blocks, so that is correct. So we'll go ahead and prepare to work from this block from the row before. Chain up 3. And this is where 5. We'll go ahead and do our 5. This is block 2. Starting our 3rd block. There's 3. This is our 4th block. And this is our 4th block, and we have 1 more block. This is block 5. Slip stitch to end that row, and we will turn our work over. Now we will do row 32. In row 32 we need 4 white blocks, so we'll begin decreasing in this row, working up to that post, and chain of 3, and this is our 1st block. This is our 2nd block, and we chain up 3, and then this is our 3rd block. This is closing in. We're almost finished. This is our fourth block. Go ahead and do the additional 3 double crochets. Okay, so that is row 32. Row 33, we just need 3 blocks. Go ahead and start on that 3rd block. Work our way up. However you are comfortable. And slip stitch. And we'll go ahead and this is our first block of row 33. This is our second block. Second and our third. And then we have our third block. So we'll go ahead and start the third block. And then we will slip stitch to end that row. Now we will do 34. Row 34 is needing 2 white blocks. So we'll work our way up to the post. And we will chain 3 and we will have our first block completed. And then we will have our second block completed. All right. And then we'll finish up the 3rd double crochet and then our 4th double crochet and slip stitch. Now, as we see in this corner, we have 2 blocks. Row 35 will be just 1 block. We will go ahead and finish up this 1 block. We'll slip stitch, or I'll slip stitch, or however you feel comfortable about getting up to that post. Slip stitch, chain of 3, and we will do the first double crochet, second double crochet, I'm sorry, 3rd double crochet, and the 4th double crochet. Now this is it. We will go ahead and do a slip stitch. Now what I would like to do is kind of do another slip stitch in there and just kind of pull it a little bit. Go ahead and snip that yarn, pull it on through, it'll create a knot, and then we can just work it in. Let me get all these extra little strings off of here, because I have some here, one there. Get that off of there. As we can see, we'll go ahead and we'll thread those in. But if we take a look, get our strings and stuff kind of tucked away. Oops, if I turn it the right way, it'll be nice. So, as we know, this is our right side of the project. I'm thinking that this is, I'm gonna have to have a measuring tape with me. I don't have it with me, but I will measure it and tell you exactly what the size is for it. As you can see, we have completed the project. And if we take a look at the picture and we take a look at here, now I do notice that a lot of times my yarn will separate here, but it won't separate over here, and I draw it a little tighter at some point. But I'm still trying to figure that out, and I'm still trying to make sure that I do it on the left side and on the right side of the work to make sure that it's balanced. But as you can see, for the most part, we have our completion of our project. Once we start threading it in and weaving it in on the back side, it'll look as perfect as you want. If it didn't come out quite the way that you wanted it to come out, don't get upset. It took me multiple times to be able to do the project to get it exactly the way that I would like for it. But I hope that you enjoyed this. I will have another video where I will show you maybe how to put a border on it to trim it up the way that you would like to make it look really fancy. You can leave it just like this. It's fun just as it is. It would make a nice placemat. It can make a nice pot holder, you know, like a pot where you can put a planted pot on it, and for decor on the table. A plot, you know, for a planted pot is what I'm trying to say. Or it can just be a nice decoration. I believe that what I'm going to do with these, I am going to take get other colors, and maybe some gold and maybe some blues and maybe some maybe red and black and different things, and I might make me a blanket out of this and sew it all together. And if I do that, I will definitely be able to show you some of the work that I do, whatever I decide to do. But I will go ahead and close this out for today, giving you time to kind of finish it up if you want to go back and rewind and do maybe you wanted to see if there's an area that you would like to fix, an area that you would like to tighten, or what have you. You can go back and do. I'll come back and you can go ahead if you like and thread it through in the back. I'm gonna do some of it before I come back on camera just to show you how to thread it in. Then we'll put a border on and call it a finished project. But I thank you so much for being with me on this task and to crochet with me. I hope that you enjoy it. I certainly did, and this was a lot of fun, and I will have other projects that I can find to be able to do something maybe even bigger or a little bit smaller, but at any event, just so you can get comfortable with a corner to corner crochet. But until then, thank you so much for being with me. I hope that you had a wonderful time doing this project, and I will talk to you or crochet with you next time. Bye bye.